I'm Marvin Budd of Budworks LLC. I wanted to take a minute and make a video about a technique that has worked very well for me. Thanks to all you other arborists out there who've made an incredible amount of wonderful tools available. This starts out with the need to remove a leaner over a fence, and the tree had already split near its base. I'll show you that in a minute. My first step was to remove some of the brush at the top of the tree remotely. I usually work alone, so there's just one guy doing this. And my primary tool for removing the top of the tree is a simple rope saw. And they look like this. You have a link that connects to a chain that cuts both directions on both sides and has a pitch and a cutting bite that is something you can pull by a person. It doesn't require a machine to do it. They can get challenging, but usually you can pull them through. So I used one of these. The specific one I used has that triangular end. Some of the kits come with these round ends in them. I don't consider them as effective. Here's what they look like. But primarily you want the good end on a chain. A regular chain doesn't have the characteristics necessary to do this job. But they are closable. And the reason I like the triangular ones is that I can get a 1/2-inch rope through them. They also come with a variety of cordage that you can use with them, and chains to sharpen them and everything else, little hand gizmos, but most of that's ineffective when you get to using it from height. So now I'm going to show you what the tree looks like. The tree is this one right here, and it goes up at a pretty steep angle. And I've gotten 3 major limbs off of the top of the tree. This allowed me to reduce the weight at the top, and it also has to come back through a whole lot of brush here at the edge of the woods. And rather than climb that without a good secure point of attachment, I figured this was a safer route. So I've already attached a 3/4-inch rope around the tree, and I want to show you the base of the tree. This tree had a rather interesting look at the base. I couldn't tell on this side here where there were any good buttress roots. But fortunately for the tree, there were on the back side, and that kept it from going over. However, this wood right here was tight as a drum. And you can see a crack there, but that crack you can see all the way through it. I've already raised the tree a few feet. But the interesting thing about this tree is that this kind of gets narrow at the top. So I would guess if that broke and it came over, as long as this base, it would kind of do a barber chair operation. So the base would hold, otherwise it would just come down into the fence. So I don't know if you can see up here in the top of the tree, that's where I've got my rope going around, and it's coming back down here through the woods. I've tied off one end of the rope here to a good sized tree, and the other end of the rope is going down to a GRCS, probably 80 or 100 feet away. So I have connected 2 ropes together in order to make that distance up. I didn't have a 300-foot rope, so we've got a knot in the middle. Nevertheless, this has worked for me before, and I'll just crank it over after making a face cut probably into this. I don't know if I should actually make a face cut or not, maybe a small one. and then just cut through the rest of this wood here on the left-hand side to get it over. I've already proven I have control of the tree. I've been able to remove it over some. So now it's a matter of reducing the amount of stress that I have to put on the rope system in order to get it over. But we'll get there. And just one more section to show you the GRCS. I've got a pulley up here to give a better lead to the GRCS, the good rigging control system. And the rope is going up to the tree. Straightened out the path of the tree through the brush better. And we're about ready to pull it over. This is really tight.